Hello, folks. Welcome to episode number 48 of Listen in 3D. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we're both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you like what you're seeing, like this video, or dislike it if you disagree with our takes. Definitely thumbs up, thumbs down. It just helps the YouTube algorithm. Share it around, comment, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. We're growing slowly but surely, but we are growing. So a lot of good stuff coming. Thank you for those that keep coming back. Rocking with us. That sort of thing. We have fun every time we do these. So um, it's a pleasure, and just a reminder: if you want to podcast a show, we're on all podcasting platforms. So whatever you want, links to that should be on our main YouTube page and in the description. And if you haven't yet, follow us on TikTok and Instagram as well. Links to that also in the descriptions and our main YouTube page. So with that out of the way, how you been, Netta? It's been a minute since we've last done one of these.
Yes, I've been pretty good. How about you?
Doing pretty well, doing pretty well. So, yeah, we keep saying that other genres that we'll be doing, and today I think is one of these days we're going to do another genre, or other genre other than hip hop. So, I guess you can kind of say this episode's a bit of a hip hop break. So, without further ado, what are we talking about today?
So, today we'll be discussing Marvin Gaye's 11th studio album, What's Going On. It was released May 21st, 1971. It was certified gold. It peaked at number one on the US Billboard Top Soul Albums and number six on the US Billboard Top Pop Album, or I'm sorry, Billboard Pop Albums. It had singles including What's Going On, Mercy Mercy Me, Inner City Blues, and Save the Children. And there were music videos for What's Going On and Mercy Mercy Me. And there were no guest appearances on this album.
All right, thank you for that. So, Marvin Gaye. May him rest in peace. He was an American soul and R&B singer, songwriter, and musician. And pretty much he was one of Motown's artists that paved the way for others. Along with Diana Ross, Jackson 5. The list goes on and on. Who was at that label. Let's see. He's popular for very famous songs, not from the album we're talking about, but I'm just gonna name some other ones. Ain't That Peculiar? How Sweet Is It? No, How Sweet It Is, excuse me. I Heard It Through the Grapevine. That's another popular one. Let's see. And I know he did that one in the 80s. Oh, Sexual Healing. That was also another one of his, too. Definitely has a, great catalog of work. So, if you ever in the mood for some classic R&B, I would, look no further than him. So, great songwriter. And fortunately, he's no longer with us. He was murdered a day before, which would have been his 45th birthday by his own father. And that's a story within its own. I don't want to get too much into that, but just man, rest in peace. He left a great legacy behind. So, um, so any nostalgic thoughts when it comes to Marvin Gaye? Have you heard any of his music? Do you listen to his music normally, or I want to know?
Um, One of the first song I think of is "Ain't No Mountain High Enough."
Hmm.
Um, Probably because it's one of his more popular songs, and also because like the first year of marching band, it's like we just happened to play this song. I couldn't say I normally listen to his songs, but one of the one thing that really stands out about him to me is his rendition of the Star Spangled Banner that he
Mhm.
sang at the 1983 NBA All Star game. He the first time I heard it, I was just blown away because he kind of just he made it his very own. I never heard a funky and soulful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. I've just never heard the Star Spangled Banner sound like that, and he had the audience even clapping to it, which is just it's kind of just unheard of with the Star Spangled Banner. So I really loved it. He's always just been a great musician to me. What about you?
Yeah, for me, well, I will comment on that Star Spangled Banner performance at the 1983 All Star Game. That was his last televised appearance. Yeah, he sang that one and on Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever, and Soul Train. So that was one of his last appearances. That was about a year before, a little over a year before he died.
Wow.
Uh, so yeah, just that's pretty cool. But for me, I just listen to his music here and there. Pretty much what my mom would play. I mean, if he came on, he came on. I know one of the songs we talked about, "What's Going On," I know was on one of the trailers for a movie that came out in the mid '90s, Menace to Society. I could try to find the old trailer on you. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere if y'all want to look for it or fact check me. But I mean, that was where like I first heard this or remember first hearing the song, and I was like, it was a pretty nice song, pretty catchy song. But otherwise, sexual healing is a good one. Um, I know a lot of his music has been sampled throughout the years. I know there's one sample in particular. I can't put my name on the song. I'll try to find it while we're discussing the album, but for the most part, it great artists, and just like a lot of my elders, really like him a lot. I don't think my grandfather had him on vinyl. I don't remember seeing it anyway. I know he had the Temptations. I don't think he had Marvin Gaye. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But this wouldn't be a bad album to own on vinyl, if you know what I mean. But I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part.
So is that something you got from your grandfather, this vinyl collecting?
Uh, no, that was just something I just started doing just recently. Just look cool. I met a dude who I worked with several years back who was doing it. I didn't really think nothing much of it. I did get a vinyl while he was collecting. It's a Coolio vinyl. I think you've seen it. That was the one I framed. But just I think with vinyl collecting in general, just started doing it. Got into it, kind of turntable. Just want to see what it's about. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. Just getting old records, getting new records. I mean, that's all pretty cool for the most part. Let's see. So let's get. If you have no more nostalgic memories or anything you want to discuss, all right. Let's go over the artwork. I'm just gonna go just generic. I mean, nothing much going on here. Just him looking at something in the background. I don't think it's the worst artwork we've ever seen, but I mean, I don't think it's anything. I mean, it was the early '70s, so I do gotta take that into consideration. What about you?
I really liked it actually. He's like, I think it was the rain for me. Like he's standing in the rain, just looking off into the distance, and it felt like it kind of summed up the theme of the album, where he's just standing in the midst of the world and all the turmoil, and just asking all these questions like why is this happening? Why is that happening? So I really liked it.
Yeah. It was yeah, definitely. What do you think? That's rain in the background, or I don't know.
Ye- Yeah, it looks like there's like rain on his head, rain on his coat.
Yeah,
I assumed it was rain.
yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah. I guess I didn't really notice the rain there too much. I don't know. Just sometimes you have a good eye for these things. I mean, since we've been doing this show, like you've been able to point out things on just album covers I've seen a million times. It's just like well, never noticed that. So I figured you would have something for it.
But I think he's got like a rain jacket on. It looks pretty cool actually. His collar is like popping up. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's yeah. I guess it could be. Maybe it was in the rain. I'm not too sure, but it's yeah, it's not a bad photo for the most part. I mean, like I said, it's not the best I've seen, not the worst either. It's just generic, I guess. All right. Let's see. So let's go over the beats or best sounding song or best produced song, whatever you want to call it. For me, the production, I feel like it was a good album, but I feel like a lot of the beats like were kind of like the same, like kind of the melodies, like "What's Going On," "Mercy, Mercy Me." Even the second song, "What's Happening, Brother." I feel like all those songs were like kind of like similar in a sense, if you get what I'm saying. How do you feel about that?
Yes, I would probably agree with that. Like for most of the songs, what really stood out more was his voice and the lyrics more than the beat. So they
Mm-hmm.
actually did all sound very similar.
Mm-hmm.
The one I really liked though was Inner City Blues. I felt like I like to dance to all music, but I never feel like I'm doing a good job. this one, I this one I felt like I was killing it. I was doing a great job dancing. I thought it was because of the rhythm. It was almost hard to be offbeat because it
Yeah.
was like fast, slow, and everything in between. And even the very beginning of Inner City Blues, it sounded like a hardcore rap beat to me. Like I was halfway expecting Marvin Gaye to just start spitting or something. So
Well, it's funny that I guess we could talk about this since you brought it up. That song has been sampled. Inner City Blues. It's been sampled in two songs that I know of. The DLC's "The Formula," and then a song we did a while back actually. From the Coolio "It Takes a Thief" album. It was the song "In the Closet." I don't know if you remember that, but so that song was
when he's
sampled.
talking about his habit, his being in the closet with
Yeah,
cocaine addiction.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Someone's knocking at your door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Yeah, so yeah, that song. That was yeah. So yeah, he sampled that. I mean, that's the two. I'm sure there's been more. Those are the two that at the top of my head that I can think of. So I know the DLC we haven't done yet, but one of them we had already done. So definitely. I mean, that song alone, I know it's taken quite a bit of samples from hip hop artists that that they do like to use. So and then, oh, speaking of which, that famous sample that I really like from Marvin Gaye. I meant to say this earlier. I found it. "Let's Get It On." That was a song. Yeah, yeah. "Let's Get It
Oh
On."
yeah, that
That's
one's huge.
yeah. Especially that beginning beat. It's a lot of rappers like to loop that one too, and doesn't sound too bad. It's very, very, very good. So let's see. Let's see. So yeah. So my favorite one, I guess, would have to be "What's Going On." I mean, if I had to choose just one slash "Mercy, Mercy Me," I feel like it was the same, but yeah. So I mean, what about you? What do you think your favorite would have to be "Inner City Blues"?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I really like that one.
All right. Yeah, yeah, that's good. All right. So let's go over the album singles. There were four of them, but for the sake of time, we're only going to discuss three of them. So let's start with Inner City Blues. What were your thoughts on this song?
I really loved it. Like from the beat making me feel like I could dance. That was already a good thing. And then when he was singing, I loved when he said, "Make me wanna holla the way they do my life." That was like one of my
Yeah,
favorite parts. Um,
yeah, make me wanna holler the way. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a good one. I think for me, what I really liked on it was like the reprise going, at the end, mother, mother, mother. Everybody thinks we're wrong. Who are they to judge us simply because we wear our hair long? Oh yeah, it was just really, really, really enjoyed the theme of the album. Just perfect example of just R&B singer that's just not talking about love making, I guess. So,
Yeah, I love the very ending part, the mother part too, because it
yeah,
was like this was the last part of the last song, and on the first part of the first song, what's going on. He says mother too, so he kind
hmm,
of ends the album the same way he began it. So I thought that was like really cool coming full circle with it. I really love that song.
yeah, yeah. Excellent song, great song. Um, all right, let's go to Mercy, Mercy Me. There was a music video for the song, but I guess we could talk about that after we talk about the song itself. For me, I just love how it starts. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Where did all the blue skies go? Just loved how song starts out, and just not a long song either. Just kind of pretty short in my opinion, but I mean, and it part of it does. It felt like it was a little bit of a continuation of what's going on. What were your thoughts?
I enjoyed it too. Him just talking about all the like ecological disasters, and he's
Yeah.
talking about the blue skies, poison in the wind, oil
Hmm.
in the oceans and seas, the fish full of mercury, radiation in the underground and in the sky. You just speaking about all these environmental concerns. I felt like it was kind of maybe nostalgic in a sense too. It kind of reminded me of those um all those rap songs that we hear, like I think Biggie had one, Coolio had one, where they're just talking about the good old days back when everything was perfect.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me some of that, and I like how he's speaking of the earth as if it's a human. And you say, how much more abuse from man can she stand?
Yeah.
So I really liked it.
Yeah, it's the thing is like you read these lyrics, talking about poison in the wind that blows from the north and the south and east, oil wasted on the oceans and upon our seas. Um, who was singing about that stuff at the time? I mean, really, I mean, it's kind of you can kind of make an argument that you could talk about the artwork or whatever, but I mean, he was kind of ahead of his time with this stuff. No one was really like, at least no other artist I can see that was like really singing about like environmental issues, stuff that was going on in our world. I mean, rhythm and blues. I mean, R&B. What do we know it as today? Just love making music. So I mean, it's he was kind of in a sense he was kind of like maybe not a hip hop, maybe rapping before just trying to put a message on a song before rappers started doing it. Quite frankly, but I mean, I think that's pretty cool that he was do that. Thoughts
Yeah,
on?
that
Oh, keep going.
I was just gonna say yes, that's true. Like all of the more old school songs I know, it's just like people just saying "baby, baby, I love you," all that kind of stuff. It's not it's rarely about environmental issues, and to the extent it is, it might just be just one line as opposed to dedicating an entire song to it. So I think you're right that he was really on the cutting edge. Even today, people might do it every once in a while, but even today it's few and far between that people are
Yeah.
singing about topics like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see stuff like hear stuff like that every day. Did you have thoughts on the music video? It wasn't made in
Uh,
1971, just so you know. But
yeah, I was kind of disappointed when I clicked it and it was like, oh, it was made in like 1990 something. And I was like, oh, and
mm,
they just remade it, but I guess it just speaks more to how relevant it still is today and was back when they made it.
yeah,
It. It was just like a whole bunch of different artists just, looking off into the distance with an
Yeah,
ecological disaster in the background.
I
It,
think
it was okay.
I think it could have been done better, but with it being 90 or whatever year it was made, it just they did the best they could. I mean, I am always curious to see like if someone is going to make a music video from a song that was done years ago, like how are they going to attack it? How are they going to do it? I mean, you'll see it from some artists from time to time. So I mean, I think their take on it was pretty cool. I mean, you can only get, I mean, obviously in 1971 MTV wasn't around yet, so it's not like only real music video would be just a live performance of him singing the song, I guess.
Right.
All right, now let's go on to arguably the best song on the album, the one that it's named after. What's going on? So, what is going on? That no, I'm just kidding. I'll let you start this one out.
Oh yes, I liked how he approached it in a kind of like a familial sense. He's addressing the mother, the brother, the father.
Mhm,
Mother, there's too many crime. Brothers, there's too many dying.
right.
Father, we don't need to escalate. And I like how he's kind of proposing a solution. We got to find a way to bring some loving here today. We got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. It's a really beautiful song, and I like how he's throwing in. I mean, I'm sure he's not purposefully doing this, but for me, when I hear
Hmm.
him saying "right on" and "groovy," it's like, oh, the '70s. Oh, this is
Yeah,
it's
it was a
nostalgic
time.
in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say, definitely the intro verse, like the part where everything is everything. We're gonna do a get down today. Boy, I'll tell you, I like that part. And then verse one, mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, brother, there's far too many of you dying. Saying same stuff that our people come across today. In terms of that, we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah, that was my favorite like lyrics on the song. Bring some love in here today. Just
Yeah.
kind of has to uplift your spirits. When you hear something like that, and makes me feel good in terms of that. As for the music video, it was done recently. I was surprised. I think it was a lot better than the one in 1990 or whatever. It really, I like how they showed what the social issues, how they used that song to show the issues that were affecting people back then are still affecting people now.
Hmm.
In other words, this song, you could pretty much play this song anytime, anywhere. I don't think the song will ever age, except for maybe the production. But lyrically, I don't think it'll ever age. What are your thoughts on the music video, or what do you think?
Yes, I agree. I like the music video too. Like they started off in like Flint, Michigan in 2019, and they
Mm,
were, addressing the water crisis, and then they were moving to gun violence and police brutality. And
mm,
I thought it was a really good way to just shine a light on the issues while, playing this song that's still extremely relevant today.
yeah, like I said, if you're comparing the two music videos, definitely better than "Mercy, Mercy Me."
Yeah.
All right, so we talked the singles, at least the top three singles, and I'm pretty sure those were the top three singles. If anyone, I'm going to try to start saying this now. If you have a favorite single from this album or just favorite songs, just let us know in the comments. Just keep the conversation going. Um, what were your top three picks from this album?
I liked What's Going On,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Flying High, and
Flying
my
High.
very favorite was Inner City Blues. That's my number one favorite, Inner City Blues. I love that one.
All right, for me, we were very similar. Let's see. What's Going On was my favorite song. I think it's the best song on the album. Mercy, Mercy Me, probably the second best song on the album. And Inner City Blues. So I think this is the first time where it's like the three singles we discussed for my favorites. I don't think that's ever happened. Usually I try to find a deep cut, but yeah, I just couldn't find one. I mean, shout out to Save the Children, I don't think was on the level of those other three songs, if I'm being honest. I mean, there were good songs, but Flying High was a pretty good song. Let's hear your take on that one.
Oh yes, I loved how he was describing this tornness. Like, well, first in the very beginning, you hear like some snakes rattling, and when I first heard this, I was outside taking a walk, and I got scared because I'm like, I don't know if it's really some snakes around here. It sounded really. I took off the headphone. I'm like, okay, but it sounded scary, and it set the tone for the song because he's like, I go to the place where danger awaits me, but he also says, I go to the place where good feeling awaits me. Self destruction is in my hand. And he's just talking about addiction and how it's stupid minded, but he goes crazy if he can't find it. And he says, I'm hooked to the boy who makes slaves out of men. And I thought it was really good. Like, he's talking about the dangers of drugs and addiction, but he's also, just being honest, like it's extremely enticing too. So I thought it was a very good song.
Yeah, it was a good song. I mean, definitely do like the message in the song. With the whole thing. I guess I'll read some verses or lyrics I like from it. So stupid minded, I can't help it. So stupid minded, but I go crazy when I can't find it. In the morning, I'll be all right, my friend, but soon the night will bring the pain, awful pain. So I really like that at the end of the first verse. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all I had going for me there in terms of. And then I guess in the second verse, and I ain't seen nothing but trouble, baby. Nobody really understands, no, no. And I go to a place where good feeling awaits me. So those were, sorry, some of the verses or lyrics out of that song that I really liked. Great song though. I mean, the whole album was magnificent. Great album. The only thing that would kind of throw me off sometimes is like I think the first song, well, obviously the last song since I was into the album, but the first song was like the only song that faded out. Like it seems like the rest of the album was just like you'd be listening to it and just going to the next track, like, huh? Like, yeah, like none of the songs really faded. I noticed, like, because you get that like on any album, regardless of what genre. Just sometimes a song will fade or it'll just end. But this one, it was just like song would keep going. Like some of the songs, I can't put my finger on any particular song at the moment, but it would just go. It's just like, we're on track four
We're on a
now.
different song
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get that feeling a little bit?
Yeah, I heard that. I like when that happens. I only know one artist who consistently throughout all of her albums, like it sounds like one big song, and that's Mary J. Blige. I don't know how she does it, but if you listen to
Uh,
her albums, it's like they all morph into one song, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, you look up and you're on track 6, and you're like, what the.
all right. But yeah, those are my three. Yeah, that's probably going to be a first for me. Yeah, the top three singles we discussed are my three favorite songs. Let's see. So album cuts and expansions. In 2002, there was a CD released with some bonus tracks. And then 2011, you got the deluxe edition and then the super deluxe edition. So, and then after that, I was not able to find any other album expansions, cuts, um, or anniversary editions of the album. So, if I missed any, just please let me know in the comments. Recommendations. Just gonna talk a couple artists that were similar to him, not albums in particular, because I'll be honest with you, I have not heard all these albums from the early '70s. So I'll just give you some recommendations on some artists if you like Marvin Gaye, Bill Withers, Curtis Mayfield, and Stevie Wonder, and I'm sure I'm missing more artists. Even I'll even give a shout out to Al Green as well. And just anyone that was on Motown during that time. Just check him out. And Marvin Gaye, the rest of his whole catalog of work. He has a lot of great work, a lot of great albums. Before we get into our final thoughts, this is an album that this was these set of episodes that we're doing. I'm doing one next. Netta's doing one. What made you want to choose this album out of curiosity? I figured I'd just ask you that.
Well,
I should have asked you at the
I
beginning
think
of the episode, but
I was looking at a top album of all time, one of those lists, not the latest one that's got everybody's heads in a tizzy, not the Apple one, but
yeah,
it was
yeah,
a
that was
older
good. Let's not talk about that. Let's
it was
not.
a an older Rolling Stone out greatest albums of all time, and this was number one.
Mhm.
And so I just really wanted to do it and see it. I had heard what's going on before, but I hadn't heard the rest of it, and so now I know why they picked it.
All right, yeah, it's a great album, and definitely a great pick. So I mean, closing thoughts. I'll just say mine first. I think great album, definitely. I mean, I would consider getting it on vinyl, maybe. Definitely, I will add it to my catalog of albums, and I'll put definitely Inner City Blues on my playlist. What's going on? I've heard quite a bit. Same with Mercy, Mercy Me, and then the rest of the album comes on during like a radio mix I do through my Spotify. I'll definitely listen to it, but I could definitely see myself listening to this again. How about yourself? Final thoughts?
Oh yes, like you, I think I've heard what's going on. Probably too much to add to the playlist, but Flying High and Inner City Blues, especially Inner City Blues, they're
Yeah,
going back to my
great
playlist. And
song, definitely.
as for the album as a whole, I think it's a timeless collection of songs. Not only is it relevant today, but I think you could place it in really any era of human history, future, past, present, and someone could relate. So I think it's a really good album.
Yeah, yeah, definitely was. Thank you for that pick, Netta. And with that, we are gonna sign off until next time. Um, for Netta, aka Wondrous Net, I'm Justin, Tooth Offer You Food. Thank you for watching or listening, and we will see you on the next episode. Later.